Would you do it, God? Why don't you just call to mind a situation or someone in your life that you know needs the breath of God right now? You might want to pray out loud or just in the stillness of your heart. Just pray for that person now. Breath of God, come breathe in their life right now. Breath of God. Breathe your life. Breathe your life. You know that it's we really want to see this church, this family, this church community journeying forward collectively, but also individually in our walk with Christ. And so on that note, we are launching the gastric groups again today. The gastric groups go live today. Oh yes. And if you have never been in a gastric group before, you won't necessarily know that the gastric groups kind of run right at the very heart of this church. It's through our gastric groups that we can make a big church like this feel a bit smaller. It's an opportunity for us to meet together in smaller groups throughout the work week, in different contexts and geographical locations on different days.
So I grew up in a family where both mum and dad, even though they divorced as well, were both atheists. You know, there was no real part of faith, you know, apart from Easter eggs and Christmas. So probably for the last 10 years I've heard people say, come on to Alpha. And I thought, no, that's not for me. But this time I heard it.
Sign up for Alpha if that resonates with you. You can do that through the website. But for those of us that have been coming to church for a long time, we can also play our part too. We can extend an invitation. You know, our city is full of people like Pete who are through Alpha here at Gas Street and hear about this amazing Jesus who loves them and knows them and has a plan for their life. And so get on board with you, church, in praying and...
헌금 시간을 가지고 있습니다. 보통 이 교회에서는 헌금을 은행 계좌로 한다고 합니다. 헌금 시간을 가지고 있습니다.
There's a stand at the back. You can check out this and other resources there. But it's such a powerful story of that choice to be vulnerable and honest when life isn't necessarily going brilliantly. And it's amazing the way that they have pursued Jesus, the calling on their lives with passion and humility and real like this. We talked about stool drama this morning and then realised that sounded a little bit too personal. I hope nobody's having stool drama at the moment. So I'm sorry that you'll get to see a lot of my left shoulder. Hopefully you'll be able to see these guys enough, yes? And again, they're going to be mindful of using the swingy stools. Oh, that sounds wrong as well, doesn't it, somehow? To full glory. Brilliant. I feel miles away from you, but it's okay. I can go a bit forward. Gosh, we're sorted now, aren't we? Okay. That made all the difference, didn't it? So let's just kick off by talking about XLP. Again, lots of people will be familiar, but for those that aren't, you both founded XLP 22 years ago. How did it come about?
In Peckham, where God lives, and it's a brilliant place. It's the only place I know you can buy half a goat and a mobile phone in the same shop. I try to get a discount, but whatever. And but in the school down the road, there was a stabbing in the school playground, and the culture. And I remember a kid coming up to me wearing a bulletproof vest underneath his school uniform, and he said I could be dead by next week. And I thought he was bragging, but he was deadly serious. In fact, 6 weeks later, very true.
She's giving you the look now.
And I still don't want to be a nurse.
Praise Jesus.
And he's quite hard to look after. But yeah, when we went and when we found out that his legs need to be broken, I can remember exactly where I was. I was walking around the freezer aisle of Sainsbury's in Denmark Hill in southeast London.
You get prayed for, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you. You get prayed for so much that you end up feeling sorry for the person who's praying for you.
인터뷰가
Fall on the floor to cheer him up a
말씀을
little bit.
이렇게 예배드리는
And when I
말씀을
wasn't
대신한
healed,
이런
that was pretty hard to
예배
handle as
형식은
well.
또
It was
처음입니다.
like, why wasn't I healed? And
Has come out of it that's good and God has used it. I don't think we're at that place where if we had the choice for these things to happen and go through it, would we have said yes, we're willing to do this?
고난들을
I
이기는
don't think we're at that place
간증들.
yet. But we're so grateful that us being vulnerable and open has found something. We're just saying thank you for being so honest. And we just realised there is so much need for some resources for people. There's been a lot of awareness raising, particularly by the Royals with the heads together, with opening up the conversations and starting to say, okay, yes, mental health, I get it, I actually struggle with it. But there's been so much cuts happening across the NHS. The NHS does a fantastic job, but the resources are so scarce. And there's so many of us needing help and support, but where do you go? Unless you're in crisis, there is very limited what's available. And so we wanted to be able to provide a resource for people to go to, for a church to be able to take on, where as a church we're so good with homeless, we're so good with poverty, we're so good in so many areas, but the area of mental and emotional well-being, we just don't understand. And so it's being able to be brave and say, I want to find out, I want to look
at vulnerability. And what happens is when people like Patrick and Diane share so honestly, it creates this sort of openness. And that's all God asks, that we would come to him humbly and honestly. And he meets us in that place. He meets us in that place. And so we're going to invite God to come. His presence is here, but there's something about saying, yes, Holy Spirit, would you come and meet with me? Would you come and meet with me? And so if the band just want to begin to come up, and as they do, you might want to just put your hands out open like this. It's kind of like the opposite of this, which is you're all right, you know, if you're on your own terms. I'm just going to pray a prayer that the church have been praying for thousands of years, which is come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, Holy Spirit. God, would you meet us by your Holy Spirit now? Thank you that you know us better than we know ourselves. You know our thoughts. You know everything about us, and you don't ask that we sweep our rubbish under the carpet. You meet us in the mess unto you as we are. And so would you come, Holy Spirit, and fill each one of us afresh. And it might be that you're here and you even throughout what's being said, there's just been a sense of God's presence in you, around you, and it's amazing. It might be that you're here and you're not feeling anything, but you know you desperately want. Change the fact that God is here and he loves us unconditionally.
Of the inner critical voice. People like me who you constantly beat yourself up. You're constantly looking at all your flaws. You set yourself such high standards, and when you don't meet those standards, you reject yourself in some ways. And for some of you, it's not severe rejection, but there is that ongoing thought in your head that's on loop. Just not good enough. Just not enough. And you're so critical, you say such mean things to yourself. But God wants to say, we would love, this will be chaotic, but we would love to pray for you, because we've got to replace that. So if you wouldn't mind, would you, as a group, come forward, because I want to speak some stuff over you that hopefully is going to help you shift this thing along a little bit. Why don't you all come forward, who put your hands up now, and gather around the front here.
we're going to tuck in. At this point, some of you won't even think,
앞에 나와서
get distracted by
기도를
feelings, but
받았습니다.
our engagement with our hearts with God. Come up with these beautiful, beautiful people made in the image of God. And Father, you know every word that they say over themselves on a daily basis. And yet, God, when you look...
Pray for everyone. So if you feel comfortable, you're here at the front. You might want to just stretch out a hand.